Welcome to our in-depth technical analysis of Datavault AI Inc., ticker symbol DVLT. In this video, we'll break down the latest price action, technical indicators, and what they mean for both short-term traders and long-term investors. As of December 23, 2025, DVLT is trading at 0.954, having experienced significant downward pressure. We'll explore what's driving this decline, the key technical signals flashing on the charts, and what scenarios could play out next. Whether you're holding DVLT or just watching from the sidelines, this analysis will help you understand the current landscape and make more informed decisions. Let's dive in. DVLT is currently under heavy selling pressure, trading below the psychological $1 mark. This breakdown is significant as it signals persistent bearish sentiment in the market. Despite a massive surge in trading volume, the price action remains negative, indicating that sellers are dominating and there's little sign of accumulation by buyers. The stock is in a deep correction phase, having fallen far from its recent highs above $4 in late October. In this scene, we'll summarize the key takeaways from the technical analysis and set the stage for a deeper dive into the indicators and trends shaping DVLT's outlook. Let's start by examining DVLT's recent price action. Since peaking above $4 in late October, the stock has been on a relentless downtrend, making lower lows and lower highs. The most recent close at 0.954 represents a daily drop of about minus 1.81%. Breaking below the $1 support level is a critical technical event, as it often triggers further selling and can lead to panic among investors. This scene will help you visualize the sharp decline and understand why this price zone is so important for DVLT's future direction. The short-term trend for DVLT is decisively bearish. After the recent breakdown, the stock continues to make lower lows and lower highs, a classic sign of a downtrend. The inability to hold above $1 has further weakened sentiment, and unless buyers step in soon, the risk of further downside remains high. In this section, we'll highlight how the short-term trend is shaping up and what traders should watch for in the coming days. Looking at the medium-term picture, DVLT remains well below its 50-day simple moving average, which currently sits at $1.88. This confirms that the downtrend is not just a short-term phenomenon but has persisted over several weeks. The inability to reclaim this moving average is a warning sign for those hopping for a quick recovery. We'll discuss how the medium-term trend reinforces the bearish outlook and what it would take for DVLT to reverse course. From a long-term perspective, DVLT's situation is even more concerning. The stock has fallen below its 200-day simple moving average at $1.04, a major bearish signal for investors. This move into so-called death-cross territory suggests that bears are firmly in control, and the long-term trend is now negative. For long-term investors, this is a critical warning sign, as it often precedes extended periods of weakness. We'll explore what this means for DVLT's outlook over the coming months. Let's break down the key moving averages for DVLT. The price is below the 5-day SMA $1.14, the 20-day SMA $1.62, the 50-day SMA $1.88, and the 200-day SMA $1.04. This alignment of moving averages with shorter-term averages below longer-term ones is a textbook sign of a strong downtrend. For traders, these levels act as dynamic resistance, making it difficult for the stock to stage a meaningful recovery. We'll illustrate how these moving averages interact and why they matter. The death cross is a widely recognized bearish technical pattern that occurs when a short-term moving average crosses below a long-term moving average. In DVLT's case, the price is now below both the 50-day and 200-day SMAs, signaling that the long-term trend has turned negative. This pattern often precedes extended periods of weakness and can trigger additional selling as investors react to the signal. Understanding the death cross is crucial for anyone trading or investing in DVLT right now. The Relative Strength Index, or RSI, is a momentum indicator that measures the speed and change of price movements. DVLT's RSI 14 is currently at 32.11, just above the oversold threshold of 30. This suggests that while the stock is approaching oversold territory, it hasn't quite reached the extreme levels that often trigger a sharp bounce. Traders often watch for an RSI below 30 as a potential reversal signal, but for now, the indicator suggests continued caution. The MACD, or Moving Average Convergence Divergence, is another key momentum indicator. For DVLT, the MACD is negative at minus 0.224 and remains below its signal line, confirming the bearish momentum. There are no signs of a bullish divergence at this time, which means the downtrend is likely to persist unless new buying interest emerges. We'll show how the MACD works and what traders should look for as a sign of a potential reversal. One of the most notable features in DVLT's recent trading is the massive surge in volume. The last session saw 178.6 million shares traded, which is 4.5 times the average volume. High volume on a down day often signals capitulation, where sellers are rushing to exit their positions. Sometimes this can mark a climax bottom if the price stabilizes, but for now, it's a sign of aggressive liquidation. We'll discuss what this volume spike means for the stock's outlook. The volume ratio is a useful metric for understanding trading activity. For DVLT, the 20-day volume ratio is 4.54, meaning the latest session's volume was more than 4 times the average. This kind of spike can indicate panic selling or a potential bottom if the price stabilizes. However, without a reversal in price action, it's more likely a sign of aggressive liquidation. We'll explain how to interpret the volume ratio and what it means for DVLT's near-term prospects. Bollinger Bands are a popular tool for measuring volatility. DVLT's price is currently hugging the lower Bollinger Band at 0.812, with the bands themselves relatively wide. This setup indicates high volatility and a strong downtrend, often referred to as walking the bands. The average true range ATR is also elevated at 0.265, confirming that daily price swings remain significant. We'll visualize how Bollinger Bands and ATR reflect the current volatility in DVLT. The stochastic oscillator is another momentum indicator, and for DVLT, it's flashing an extreme oversold signal. The %K is at 6.56 and %D at 6.52, both well below the oversold threshold of 20. This suggests that selling pressure may be exhausted soon, and a relief rally could be on the horizon. However, oversold conditions can persist in strong downtrends, so it's important to wait for confirmation before acting. Support levels are critical for identifying where a stock might find buying interest. For DVLT, the next major support is around 0.793. If this level fails, the stock could retest its 52-week lows near 25 cents. These levels act as potential floors, but in a strong downtrend they can be broken quickly. We'll highlight these key support zones and discuss their significance for DVLT's outlook. On the flip side, resistance levels mark where selling pressure could re-emerge. For DVLT, the first major resistance is the psychological $1 level, followed by the 5-day SMA at $1.14 and technical resistance at $1.17. These levels will be important hurdles for any potential recovery. We'll outline these resistance zones and what it would take for DVLT to break through them. The average directional index, or ADX, measures the strength of a trend. For DVLT, the ADX is at 16.9, which is below the threshold of 20 that typically signals a strong trend. This suggests that despite the sharp drop, the downward move may not be fully established as a long-term trend, or the market is in a chaotic consolidation phase. We'll explain how to interpret the ADX and what it means for DVLT's current situation. If DVLT fails to reclaim the $1 level quickly, the bearish scenario could play out, with the stock sliding toward 80 cents or even lower. The loss of key support levels and continued negative momentum would likely attract more sellers, increasing the risk of further declines. We'll discuss what to watch for in a bearish continuation and how traders can manage risk in this environment. On the other hand, a bullish scenario could emerge if DVLT stabilizes and buyers step in. Aggressive traders might look for a dead cat bounce due to the oversold stochastic and high-volume capitulation, targeting a retest of $1.14. However, any recovery would need to be confirmed by a reversal pattern and sustained buying interest. We'll outline what to look for if DVLT attempts a rebound. A dead cat bounce refers to a temporary recovery in a stock's price after a significant decline, often driven by short covering or bargain hunters. It's usually short-lived and does not signal a true reversal. For DVLT, the oversold indicators and high volume could set the stage for such a bounce, but traders should be cautious and look for confirmation before jumping in. In volatile markets like this, risk management is crucial. Trying to catch a falling knife can be dangerous as prices can continue to fall further than expected. It's important to set stop-loss orders, size positions appropriately, and avoid overexposure. Waiting for a confirmed reversal pattern, such as a bullish engulfing candle on high volume, is often a safer strategy than buying blindly at these levels. Reversal patterns are key signals that a trend may be changing direction. For DVLT, traders should watch for patterns like the bullish engulfing candle, especially if it occurs on high volume above the $1 level. These patterns can provide early warning of a potential turnaround, but confirmation is essential before taking action. We'll show examples of common reversal patterns and how to spot them. Given the technical setup, caution is strongly advised for anyone considering a position in DVLT. The stock is in a clear downtrend with multiple bearish signals across all timeframes. Jumping in without confirmation of a reversal can lead to significant losses. It's better to wait for clear signs of stabilization and a shift in momentum before making any moves. It's important to remember that this analysis is for educational purposes only and does not constitute financial advice. Always do your own research and consult with a qualified financial advisor before making investment decisions. The stock market can be unpredictable, and technical analysis is just one tool among many for evaluating opportunities and risks. Let's recap the key technical indicators for DVLT. The price is below all major moving averages, the RSI is near oversold, the MACD is negative, volume has surged, and volatility is high. The stochastic oscillator is deeply oversold, and both support and resistance levels are clearly defined. Together, these indicators paint a picture of a stock under heavy pressure, with only faint glimmers of hope for a short-term bounce. Looking ahead, keep an eye on the $1 level for signs of stabilization or further breakdown. Watch for reversal patterns on high volume, and monitor key indicators like RSI, MACD, and the stochastic oscillator for early signs of a shift in momentum. Staying alert to these signals can help you navigate the uncertainty and avoid unnecessary risks. Market psychology plays a huge role in technical analysis. The break below $1 is not just a technical event but also a psychological blow to investors. Fear and panic can drive prices lower, while hope for a rebound can spark short-lived rallies. Understanding the emotional drivers behind price action is key to interpreting technical signals and making better trading decisions. The relationship between volume and price action is crucial. High volume on a down day, as seen in DVLT, often signals capitulation. However, without a stabilization in price, it's more likely a sign of aggressive liquidation. Traders should look for a shift in volume dynamics, such as high volume on an up day, as a potential early sign of a reversal. Patience is a virtue in technical trading. Rather than rushing in at the first sign of a bounce, it's often wiser to wait for confirmation, a clear reversal pattern, a break above resistance, or a shift in momentum indicators. This approach can help you avoid false starts and reduce the risk of losses in a volatile environment like DVLT. To wrap up, DVLT is facing a challenging technical landscape, with bearish signals dominating across all timeframes. While there are some signs that a relief rally could occur, the risks remain high and caution is warranted. Remember to use technical analysis as one tool among many and always prioritize risk management. Thanks for watching and stay tuned for more updates on DVLT and other stocks.